Round one action at the RBC in the books. Cam Young going out and getting it. 8 under, bogey free. And updated odds, second to only Joaquin Niemann to take home the title this week. Still plenty of golf to be played, but a 63 with no squares. Bettering everybody in the field by at least 2. Niemann 6 under after a sluggish weekend at the Masters. Joining us now to take a deeper dive into the round one numbers, CBS Sports data scientist Rick Gehman. Rick, Cam Young, 2 clear following a bogey-free 63 on Thursday. Spotless card. What's the hallmark of this round, and the numbers look sustainable over the next 3 days?
Yeah, absolutely, Joe Musso. This was an impressive round number one for Cam Young for a lot of reasons. You mentioned the blemish-free 63 around Harbor Town, which is really a course that shouldn't fit his skill set. Remember, Cam Young, one of the longest drivers on the PGA Tour, not particularly accurate for the season, but he kind of overpowered Harbor Town. You know, it's not just Torrey Pines, it's not just Riviera, that if Cam Young can start to contend at other places where precision off the tee is being asked of him, that's really scary. And that's what we saw from him on Thursday. I mean, he drove the ball great as usual, but he was really dialed in with his wedges in hand. And when you get to Harbor Town, what ends up happening is the dog legs force a lot of the players to hit from similar spots, generally from 175 yards to 200 yards away from the green. And Cam Young, because he's so much longer than everybody else, had a lot of shorter clubs in to those greens on Thursday, and he took full advantage. So I do believe he's obviously not going to go out and shoot a 63 every single day, but the way that his stat profile sets up and the way that we've seen him be in contention already this season, I don't think he's going to go away anytime soon.
The maintenance staff maybe rooting for him to fade a little bit because some cavernous divots coming up off the iron play and wedge play of Young here on Thursday. But there are some bigger names lurking as well. Joaquin Niemann shot a 6 under, just a couple back here. We were all very impressed by Jocko on Thursday, standing next to Tiger, doing what he did at the Masters. Sort of fades as the days progress there, but this is a game that now appears can play anywhere. What has stood out to you about Niemann here in the early going of this campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have to think too far back to remember him going wire to wire at Riviera for victory. And Joaquin Niemann, you know, even in the last couple of years, has told us how much he really likes Harbor Town. It is a golf course that asks you to hit every single shot, high shots, low shots, mid shots, work it left to right, work it right to left. Well, the good news for Joaquin Niemann is he has all of those shots, and he is a lot longer than most people want to give him credit for. You know, a very wiry, slender frame. He's able to move the ball off the club face in a way that many of his peers can only envy. So I think when you have that skill set, the ability to work the ball in a lot of different directions, and the putting stroke that at times can get super streaky, add all that together, Joe Musso, with a newfound confidence thanks to the recent win. And this is a guy who's probably trying to make a lot of noise here this weekend.
Yeah, bounced back from a 1-over start through 4 holes and bounced back in a big way. Patrick Cantlay, Shane Lowry in the house at 5 deep. Same number here on Thursday, but drastically different form coming in. We saw Lowry really enjoy and make the most of the weekend at the Masters, while Cantlay underperformed by pretty much anyone's measures, including his own. Did it feel like Cantlay found something to build off here on Thursday, Rick?
Yes, certainly. This is a really good sign for Patrick Cantlay. You alluded to it there, Joe. The 4 events leading into this week have not been very good. They haven't been horrible, but when you're Patrick Cantlay, you expect to contend on a semi-regular basis. And he finally got to go back to Harbor Town, which is a place that he's piled up top 10 finishes in his career. So it's a place we know he's already comfortable with. And for him to get out to a really solid start, I think is a great sign of things to come. Because what we've learned about Patrick Cantlay over the course of the past year and a half is that when he starts going in the right direction, he doesn't just contend, Joe, he wins. And we saw that 4 times on tour last season. It led him to be the PGA Tour's Player of the Year. So I think this is a really encouraging sign for a golfer that certainly wants to win the RBC Heritage, but he has 3 more major championships coming up this summer, and he wants to make sure that game is in great form when he gets to those spots.
No doubt, as he highlights that list of guys without one, he will likely enjoy getting off that list sometime here in the near future. Friday forecast, sunny and 70, which makes for scores in the 60s, Rick. Let's throw it back to last year. Stewart Cink, 36-hole record, back-to-back 63s. Perhaps Corey Connors has that number in his crosshairs now. What will you be dialed into here in round 2?
Yeah, the scoring conditions I think are important, right? We're going to have to see somebody who is not currently in the mix, maybe make a move. Is Colin Morikawa going to make a move? Is Jordan Spieth going to make a move? But I like the idea of Corey Connors. He went out, he aced number 7 on Thursday, which I swear this guy makes an ace once a month. It's absolutely unbelievable what he does. At least it feels that way. And he has just been playing so well. A deep run at the match play, played well enough at the Masters. And now this is an event that should set up well for him. And if he can just putt well enough, I think he can really assert himself on the top of this leaderboard. He's obviously not going to make an ace every day, Joe, but he doesn't have to because his game's that strong. And he's looking for that validation win, the second win on the PGA Tour. It's usually the hardest one to get. We'll see if Corey Connors can position himself heading into the weekend.
I had a great week at the Masters. That would be Cam Young with the back-to-back 63s in his crosshairs. But for now, Rick Gehman, we say thank you as always.
Thanks, Joe.
And don't forget, all the coverage you need coming your way on the First Cut podcast. It is the premier podcast in all of golf. Our team taking you inside the ropes and into the action each and every week on tour, including round-by-round wrap-ups at the RBC. Download, subscribe, and enjoy the First Cut podcast. And coverage coming your way Saturday and Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. The thrilling finish at the RBC can be seen on our team of networks. Enjoy the action, 3 Eastern on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.